Hello and welcome to the Practical Mystic Show. This is Janine Bolin, and today we're going to be describing a few things that can help people who are empathic and are hurting. There's a lot going on in our world, as always, and we have more technology and more ability to hear about it and experiencing it. And empaths are particularly susceptible to a lot of the digital ways of receiving information. And so what we'd like to do with you today is kind of help you out in understanding some of the basic emotions that can really set you on a tither if you're not careful. And that is the difference between sympathy, empathy, and compassion. And this is especially important for empaths that they understand this because it can get very confusing in their own bodies when they don't understand the difference of these different emotional states. So first, let's talk about sympathy. I have my own kind of definition of sympathy, which is it's feelings of pity or sorrow for someone else's misfortune. The situation or emotion is a conditioned response that we have for others. It is the first step in offering understanding to those around us. We're taught from a young age that if someone tells us something awful has happened to them, such as loss of a job, death in the family, divorce, or a natural disaster, that we are to offer them our condolences if we have no other means of assistance. This is a very heavy word, sympathy, but it can be very light if you're an empath. An empath is taught that sympathy is not enough. Okay, that when you offer your condolences to people, that some people will see that as not really caring. But in actuality, sympathy is used, especially by those that are young, because they have not lived long enough to have had these experiences happen to them. So when a young person is being trained on how do you respond to these life-altering events that these people are going through, you can say, I'm sorry for your loss, or I give you my condolences. Why? Because I do not have any experience of which to help you. All I can say is, as one human being to another human being, I am sorry that you were in this place, without basically saying sorry, because that can actually put energy on your field that you don't need. So saying, I'm sorry for your loss or my condolences is actually a very helpful way of acknowledging the suffering of someone else without taking on any of their energy into your own field. Some empaths have been told that's not enough. And so I just want to bring out that, sympathy is a very valid response, especially if you don't have life experience that can help them. So let's move on to empathy. This is something that empaths are very good at. And I have a little definition here that I'll read through real quick. Empathy is the ability to feel what another person is feeling. For most of my life, I was taught that empathy was the ability to understand what another was feeling. I have since changed my personal definition. There are people on this planet that totally have the ability to literally feel other people's emotions. They often get confused on what is my emotion and what is theirs as they grow up around others in a fairly dramatic and traumatic household. This confusion is what causes some empaths to become introverts or people pleasers in an effort to feel better. Empaths will often do whatever they can to help others feel best. Most of our medical professionals are empaths. There are techniques that a person can use to define when an emotion is their own or someone else's. And we're going to talk about that real quick. And that is with empathy, if you're buzzing along, having a great day, all of a sudden you get smacked up upside the head or feels like hit with emotions that all of a sudden come from nowhere. Instead of trying to figure out what's going on, let's take a step back and let them pass by you. It's not yours unless you know it's yours, unless you know you were thinking about something, you smelled something, it caused a memory cascade and it triggered you. But as an empath, you know. I also want to let you know that you have a superpower as an empath. Empaths have the ability to really lighten the mood. And one of the things that happens is that empaths so badly want everyone to feel good that they will do anything, including heal people and take negative energy upon themselves just so it will lighten the mood of a room. And when that happens, everybody's doing great except the empath. Now the empath is in trouble because they have taken on those negative feelings of others. This is a gift. It is a superpower. But at the same time, there is one level up from this. So you may have found that sympathy wasn't enough. Empathy is causing you to feel ill and not well cared for when you need to. So let's talk about the highest level of energy work you can give to another human being without touching them, just using words, and that's compassion. Compassion is concern for the sufferings and misfortunes of others. I encourage most people to operate with a sense of compassion rather than empathy. I teach healthcare professionals the difference between sympathy, empathy, and compassion so that they can remain in a state of compassion without becoming burdened in the lower emotional states of sympathy and empathy. As spiritual beings experiencing the range of emotions of human life, it behooves us to stay connected to others through our compassion, but not to allow our own emotions to be triggered or involved in a person's suffering. We cannot offer the greatest help to them if we don't vibrate at a higher rate while they are in a vibration of pain. By offering our higher frequency to merge with their frequency, we remind the soul of where they will feel better and, in a way, guiding them. It is important as a healer of any kind to remind the souls that come to us for help that their origin is of a higher frequency and a higher vibration, and that our duty as a consultant, mystic, or healer is to remind them of their own power to heal themselves. We offer suggestions on systems, resources, and techniques, but the healing is their own responsibility of listening to their higher guidance, for the soul knows how to heal the body. Compassion is giving the power back to people. It's also you standing in your power. You can be in a state of compassion, and you see this frequently with police officers and master mystics, where somebody will come to them absolutely distraught and walk away feeling better, and the mystic is fine, or the police officer just goes about their day. You can integrate with society and not be emotionally wrecked as long as you are operating from a state and a place of compassion. And compassion is the highest form of love you can give somebody, which is when you say to someone, look, I know you're suffering right now. I know that you're in the middle of it. And right now you're in the suck. This is what the Marines are always saying, right? I know right now in the middle, you're in the middle of the suck, but I also know that you have the strength, the power, and the resources to walk out of this. Now let's move down the road together, but they don't take on that person's power because you want the person that's going through it to do their own work. So that's the difference between sympathy, empathy, and compassion. And I hope that's helped you a little bit today as we talked to you and gave you a little bit more assistance as an empath on moving through it. Sometimes just having a definition is enough. If this hasn't been enough, please contact me at the8gates.com/open Friday coffee and join me for an open Friday coffee. Join me in the Zoom room and let me know what your challenges are, and we'll see if we can't give you a little bit more guidance. Have a great day, and thank you for being a shining light to others.